Thanks for joining us this week on A Minute Flat. I'm Gabby Gaudette, and joining us this week is leading writer Trevor McCarthy's agent, Scott Silver, here. Thanks for joining us this week.
You're welcome.
I guess we'll just start things off with take us back in time a little bit to when it all began, and how and when was the decision made to take Trevor McCarthy's book?
Well, I'm very good friends with his dad, and we always joked about me having his book when he'd start writing. And he always said, "Oh, you're going to have to fight it out with Steve Rushin." So it was kind of an ongoing joke. And then one day we're at my house, and they come over from, I think they were down here in Maryland, and asked me if I was interested, and I obviously was. And they said, that was back in September, and they said when he's ready to go in about November, when his agent that had him was going to go to Florida, that's when I could take over.
Excellent. So Steve Rushing missed out on that opportunity, didn't he?
He's doing okay though. I'm not gonna cry him any benefits.
I think so too. And just going back, you've had a very hearty career as a jocks agent. Who were some of the other jockeys that you've had in the past?
I started off with Dennis Carr back in the late '80s when I first started back in New York, and through the years I had Marion Alligood, Diane Nelson, Frank Lovato Jr., Dean Butler, Bobby Colton, Kendrick Carmouche, and Oliver Castillo.
That's a very, like I said, a very long list. And just, I guess, talk about, obviously, eventually, Trevor McCarthy's going to lose his apprenticeship, and it can be a little bit harder for the jock's perspective to, get mounts and keep the flow going from apprenticeship to journeyman. How does that affect your side of the business, though?
I think in Trevor's case, everybody likes him a lot, and I don't think he's going to have any problem once he loses the bug because he's riding for a lot of different outfits, and I think they'll definitely continue to ride him, so I really don't see a problem.
Now, he's actually doing a really good job with going out of town up in New York on the off days here and whatnot. And where exactly do you come in that picture with getting mounts out of town?
Well, actually, I did start in New York, so I do have a lot of connections up there, and, I go to Fair Hill a lot, and I'm down in Maryland, and I've worked in Philadelphia for a long time, so it's just knowing, like, the Mid-Atlantic trainers, and getting good relationships with them, and, I've been lucky so far with that.
And for those of us who don't know, what is a day in the life of a jocks agent? I know some days it's early mornings, and that phone is always ringing.
We really don't get a day off mentally. I mean, it's not like we're out there building buildings or anything like that, but even, like on a Sunday, like I like to spend that day with my family. I still can't shut my phone off, and it's, ringing all morning, but I don't mind it.
And last but not least here, you've actually really reserved yourself a good reputation in the industry, especially in the Maryland circuit, and sometimes we see some good jocks agents, some bad jocks agents, and you've definitely reserved a good reputation. What do you think, in your opinion, really makes a good jocks agent?
I guess they have to be kind of friendly and have a lot of good relationships with the trainers and owners, and I guess you have to limit your spinning, I guess, is that's what they call it, and you want to have relationships for a long time. That way, when you have different riders, you could always ride for your contacts.
Excellent answer to the good question there. Thank you very much, Scott, for joining us this week on A Minute Flat.
Well, thank you.